Well, welcome back. My name is Dan Sexton with Renee, Mears Realtors, and this is the one of the final installments of Home Buying 101 video. Hope you've enjoyed the series, but today we are going to talk about the closing process. So good news is you've gone out, you've found a home, you've put a contract on it, you've inspected the home. Now we've negotiated any repairs and we've come to an agreement on that. Now what happens? Well, this is the part where it will look like nothing's happening. It's a period that the lender is in the background doing all their stuff, getting your loan put together. So you'll probably be communicating more with the lender than you will with your real estate agent during this period of time. More with the title company. The title company is going to be wanting information and putting together stuff. So basically what happens, once the lender has all the information that they have, they are going to put what they call your loan docs together, all the documents that you're going to need to sign at closing. There's a lot of repetitive documents in there, and some lenders, it varies from lender to lender how many docs you're going to have to sign. So at closing, there's one of the most important things that's going to happen is that the lender is also going to prepare what they call your closing disclosure. Basically, that's your closing statement showing all the debits and credits that comprise of the closing. What's the price? The price of the home. How much loan are you getting? How much earnest money did you put down? So, what repairs are negotiated? It's all debits and credits till finally it gets down to the bottom line, and it says, as a buyer, this is how much money you need to bring to the table. This will include your down payment and your closing costs. That document, that closing disclosure, has to be delivered to you 3 days prior to closing. You have to have reviewed that information 3 days prior to closing. So if there's a big change in financials or something happens that changes that closing disclosure numbers, then the clock starts over. They'll have to fix it. Then they will have to resubmit it to you for 3 days prior to closing. So, if you get it 3 days, you're looking at it, you realize, oh, hey, something's got to change. And now you make that change. Well, then boom. So now there's a chance you're pushing the closing date out. So it's very important that this get delivered to you at least 3 days prior to closing. So that's important. The title company, what they're going to do is they're going to work closely with the lender. They're going to provide you a copy of the title commitment. In other words, what parts of the property are they covering? They're going to give you some commitment documents, which shows you all the different liens that were on the property that were cleared and the ownership chain and so forth. So I highly recommend you look those over when they're delivered. HOA documents going to be coming from the title company if you're in an HOA and like that. The other thing that's important is you got to understand, who's going to be signing at closing. Just because, say, you're married, but only the husband or one party is only the one on the loan, there's a good chance that both parties will still need to sign a few documents, the promissory note and all that stuff. So just because one of the parties is not on the loan doesn't mean both parties don't have to go to closing to sign. So make sure you work that out with the title company. The other thing is maybe one of the parties is going to be out of town during that closing date. Well, you can do a power of attorney for one to the other so that one spouse can sign for both of you. So that all needs to be understood. And then once you get the closing disclosure and they show you how much money you need to bring, there's two options you can do for that. You can wire the money into the title company, or you can bring a cashier's check. It must be certified funds if you're bringing it. And you will need to bring 2 forms of ID, at least a driver's license. So be prepared for that as well. But, make sure you got all that understood. The realtor will help you work through all that with the title company. And in the process while you're doing this, you're going to start making arrangements for your utilities and what utility companies do I use and how do I need to get those scheduled and all that. So that's you know, they need to coordinate with that. And then, of course, now you need to set up moving, moving companies to help you move, or friends, if you got friends with trucks, as we call it, pickups, get your friends together or get a moving company to help you move. So those are things that you need to be doing: scheduling utilities, scheduling the movers. The loans, the lender is getting the loan docs ready. The title company is getting the title information together, and then the realtors in the middle making sure all that's happening on a timely basis. So that gets you right up to closing. Then at closing, you'll sit down and you'll sign all these documents. The closer at the title company will explain the documents with you. Sometimes the lender shows up. Me as a realtor, I will always be at your closing to ensure there are no issues, or if you had any questions, and to be there for, and basically moral support primarily, but I will be there for sure. And once you sign those documents, depending on the possession terms that were in the contract, whether you have a lease back or you're taking possession at closing and funding, and you'll get the keys and stuff like that. That's an exciting time. But understand that just because you close, there is going to be a period of time that it takes for the lenders to review the documents that you signed to then release the money. That's the funding part, closing and funding. You really technically can't take possession of the property until it has funded, meaning the seller has their money. So once that occurs, the title company will notify everybody, we'll pop a cork, and off you'll go into your brand new home, and exciting times start. And you think that might be the end of it. Well, guess what? There's some more stuff that's got to occur. In this next video, real quickly, I'm going to cover what happens after you get in the home and what are some things that you need to know. Well, congratulations, you bought a house. Now you're in it. Now what? Well, there's still some things that have to occur to make sure that you take advantage of being a homeowner. One of the primary things that has to occur is you have to file your homestead exemption. Now, most of the times when you buy a pre-owned home, there was a homestead exemption already in place from that owner. You get to take advantage of that until the next year. So if you buy in July, and there's a homestead exemption already on the house, you get to take advantage of that up through December. What is a homestead exemption? Well, the homestead exemption clarifies or defines that you are claiming this home as your homestead. It provides you some some legal protections against people putting liens on things like that, so they can't take your house. The other thing is it also declares that a homestead also kind of gives you a little bit of a deduction on your property taxes. So look into that. You'll need to file that homestead exemption between January and I want to say March, could be April of the following year. You'll get notices in the mail of people willing to file it for you for a nominal fee. Please throw those away. It's free to file. You just go on to the Central Appraisal District for the county you're in, pull the homestead exemption form, fill it out, send it in, and it'll be filed. But you want to do that between January and April to make sure that that's filed in a timely manner to take advantages of those protections. So that's that. The other thing you want to make sure is if you did get a home warranty and something occurs in the house after you've taken possession of it, review your home warranty documents. Don't just call Joe Smith Air Conditioning Service if you have a home warranty. Call the home warranty company. That's why you have it. You'll pay a small deductible of $50, $75, but then they'll send out their guy to fix your AC unit, which could be, if you have to replace the AC unit, up to $8,000, $10,000. So those are the two big things to keep understanding in the post-close home ownership stuff. So congratulations on getting in your home. Congratulations on closing, and good luck in the future.